Directions for fixing the HTML code for the SoftChalk lessons. The first thing you're going to need to do is download a program called Sublime Text 3. You do a Google search for it, it'll come up. If you go to the download page, you see that they have the OS version for Mac. You have the Windows for Brandon. Of course, the Windows 64-bit depends on your machine, but you're going to use one of those. So you're going to download Sublime Text for your machine. So once you've downloaded it, you'll open Sublime Text. Now I have one going on in the background here, so you see it already open. But on the Mac, you'll just go to File and Open. But on the PC, you have additional options to open a file or open a folder. And on the PC, you're going to want to open a folder. But here, I'm just going to click on Open. You're going to navigate to where the course is that you want to scrub. In this case, I'm using Downloads folder, and I'm going to use Mandarin 2 as the example. So I'm just going to click on the folder, single click on the Mac, and I'm going to click Open. And when I do that, it's going to bring up the entire structure for Mandarin 2. And so what I do here at this point on a Mac is I'm going to start the search and replace, or the find and replace. So the key pattern for the Mac is Shift, Command, hold those two together and push F for find. If you're using a PC, you want to hold down Shift and Control together and then push F. And so the first part, it's a two-step process. The first part under find, you're going to put in open tag embed and just leave it at that. For replace, you're going to put in open tag video controls, and then you're going to hit replace. Now, depending on the size of the course, this process, it may sit here and look like it's not doing anything for quite a while, but eventually something will pop up here that tells you how many things have to be replaced, and you're going to hit replace. Now, before you go on, you're going to automatically change this, and I can send this in an email, but there's a second line of code that's this whole long auto start equals parentheses false parentheses width equals parentheses 200 all the way to height and close tag. So you're going to find that at the end of it, and you're going to replace that part with a close tag open tag slash video close tag. And you're going to go ahead and hit replace again, even though you haven't done anything with the other stuff. This time it came up with no matches. So now I'm ready to start working with what I've found and replaced. I have to save it all. So I'm going to go through each page. On my tabs up at the top, I can see in the corner there's a circle and an X. The gray text down the page tells me that this is a JavaScript file. I don't want to change or save any changes in there, so I'm going to click close, and when I do it, do you want to save, do you not want to save, do you want to cancel? This one I don't want to save. This again, I can tell by looking at it and looking up here in the top right corner that this is another JavaScript, so I'm just going to click X, don't save, and I want to go through those JavaScripts and do the same thing. Just close, don't save, close, don't save, and I'm going to keep going until I get to an HTML page. Let me see if I can go over here and find one. Okay, this example doesn't happen to have any HTML pages. Mandarin wasn't a good option, so let me go back up here and do File, Open again. For the HTML page, I'll go back to Downloads, and I do know that let's go with AP Psychology and click Open. Okay, so I have the whole AP, so I'll go through and do my find and replace again real fast. Embed, replace it with video controls. Hit replace. It's going to take a few minutes to run. We'll go in and change the auto start. Replace that with the close tag video. Hit replace. Okay, so now I've found lesson6.html. So I want to hit Control F for find, and I want to manually type in open tag video, and when I do, it'll take me to that line of code, and I can see here for some reason this one, which is a video, doesn't have the same auto start. So I've got to go ahead and manually erase that auto start and then add a close video tag at the end of it before I save it. So once I've added that, then I'll actually go up here and just click X to close. This time I want to save it because it's HTML. And so again, on the next page I choose find. This one I run into the same issue, so I'm going to erase that. Make sure the close tag stays there. Close video, close it, and then I'm going to close and save. Most of the time you're going to run into you're not going to run into the second part here. The auto start line that I showed you in the find and replace generally catches that, but these are all videos, so they're set to something different. But you verify to make sure that it did change the video control source and here. Now with this particular item, if I back it up and undo till I have that line of code right here, I can actually take this and highlight and copy it. And then I can go back and do my Shift Command F for find and replace, and I can add that information into the find and replace and close it with the close video tag. And when I hit replace, it will come up and say there are 4 occurrences. And now I can see that instant took effect, and it did that automatically without me having to type it in. So I just click close and make sure I save that change. I want to just check and make sure, so I'll do Control F for find, and I'm going to look for my video tag. There it is, it's closed video tag, so I can close that out. I'll find it again. Yep, it's closed out. So I'll close that tab out, make sure I save it. And I'll keep repeating the process till I've gone through all the tabs at the top, whether they're JavaScript and I just close them out and don't save, or whether they're HTML and I make sure that those changes took place and I do save. And so I repeat that all the way to the end of the class. Once that course is finished, then it's ready to load to the server.